Greetings and salutations, everyone. For those of you who may not know, my name is Samius, and I usually stream Dungeons & Dragons Online. I've gotten into the new Pathfinder Kingmaker, Magic the Gathering, stuff like that. But occasionally, I like to play some Factorio. I like strategy games, and I like building games, and I like stuff like that. And actually, Factorio is one of my favorite games. And every once in a while, I like to just play it. A little low stress world builder. And I like to watch Factorio streams, right? Streams, videos, etc. And on all those, there's two people that I consider probably my favorite. And out of, or let's just say one person that's my favorite is dangOreus. Right? If you're into Factorio, you found this video and you're like, huh, who's this dangOreus guy? He's a YouTube streamer. Check him out. Said by far, thanks phone, by far my favorite Factorio streamer. So please throw him some love if you are not already checking him out. He's a YouTube guy, not a Twitch guy. So he's worth checking out, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But he kind of introduced me to this new series of mods. In fact, I've actually downloaded the exact mod pack that he's kind of... This one is not going to get wind in this position. That's bad. That's a bad. This particular mod pack, and it's called dangOreus. And basically the idea is that the entire planet is covered in ore. Not usually particularly thick ore or good ore. Like here's one that's got 58, and here's one that's got 56, but it's completely covered in ore. And you can't build anything on it that's not a miner. So you're doing weird stuff like putting it far enough back that it's completely surrounded by ore, and using a robot on hand to move it that space off of the ore and into your zone. It's early days on this particular playthrough. I have another one that I was practicing on, and I made what I consider to be a couple of fatal mistakes. So I'm kind of starting over again. And I thought, why not bring you guys with me? Why not? I think I've figured out a couple of handfuls of tricks or some good practices that I want to try this playthrough. Play too much DDO. Everything's lives. Everything is lives. And I need a game that I can pause today. I'm not feeling very well. I haven't been feeling very well. Really, I noticed it greatly last night. So I definitely want and need something that I don't have to stress out too hard. I can kind of pause. Early game Factorio is great for that. If I have to go on a coughing, hacking, blow my nose fit for like 3 minutes, I can either hit the pause button, or most of the time I can even just let it run, and it doesn't matter, so it's fine. There are biters turned on. I don't see any right now. Here's the little map. And so yeah. So what? Excuse me. In fact, I'm going to do that blow my nose thing right now. Alright, here we go. Sorry about that, folks. I'm one of those people that would rather... I hate that. I hate that. I always feel like there's something on my mustache. There's not, but it always feels like it is. Anyway, I'm one of those people who would rather you just take the time, stop, blow your bloody nose, than sit there and suck snot or make make noise. Just fix it. Just do the right thing. Get her done. Get her done. Alright, sorry. So, I'm kind of mining my way to this oil. Turns out I have an oil pack pretty close. I think, I'm not gonna lie, I did respawn the map 3 or 4 times before I kind of picked this one yesterday to make sure I didn't have a desert map. The playthrough that Neilhouse is playing right now is in a desert map, and he's really struggling, so I definitely feel like that is one of the issues. To the fact where, did I see that he... I'm pretty sure he turned off biter expansion in his current playthrough, which I don't know. I don't have currently turned on that way, so biters will expand. Biters will be trouble. I do not begrudge anybody that need, though, for sure. Which is one of the reasons I ended up restarting and playing this game. So, one of the things that I want to do is I want to pick basically 2 directions. And I want to pick those 2 directions and basically clear and build those that way. So one of the big problems that I personally tend to have is I like to build down, right? I don't know if everyone else has that issue, but that's just how I visually like to build my map and play the game. I tend to just work my way south. South would be fine, but we've got some uranium down here. So I'm going to actually build north for a change. At least currently there's no uranium, and I can head, like, I got this huge iron deposit this direction. We've got a reasonable amount of copper floating through here. Yeah, we got some big lumps of stone that we'll have to grind through as well, but that's generally not that big of a deal. And the stone is actually relatively useful in this map, so having this big clump of iron here to dig through seems fine. So we're basically going to square up. I think we're going to take the time to square up the south and the east. Maybe that'll come later. Maybe we'll just lock in some really heavy defenses down here. But basically, I want to go whoop like this in the world. I'm making an L shape for basically go like that. With the hopes that that'll let me secure 2 sides against attacks easily, and then be able to really focus my expansion in one way. That is going to cause some issues in some places, but I think it'll be worth the hassle. Speaking of hassle, I have also figured out that if you have an area like this right here with this copper, and it's buttoned up against a line of coal, a good strategy to like give yourself a little bit of that classic Factorio feel where you can set up a little bit bigger of a patch or a run or whatever is to go ahead and set up the daisy chain, right? And you can see other people do this similar kind of thing. But put the daisy chain into a chest at the end. Then every once in a while you do have to check it, which is annoying, but it is not that big of a deal. But you can generally get away with checking that every 3 or 4 minutes or whatever and be okay. Let's see. The other big thing that I'm doing this particular save that I did not do last save is I have these trees down here. So when I start to get my first Factissimo, is that how you say it? Factissimo? Factorsimo? Whatever you unlock with the architecture over here. I'm going to stick that building inside these trees. I'm just going to clear it out just enough to surround the coal plants and whatnot inside that building around the trees, and hope that helps cut it down. I'll probably do something similar by putting the first couple of smelters near the trees, But unfortunately, it does creep in pretty close. So we're not going to have like a ton of room to build buildings in the forest that aren't going to move, like smelters and stuff like that. Speaking of moving, I like the idea of starting with like 20 base robots. So I have 20 robots. I have a suit of armor with 2 little personal robot ports, 1 itty bitty battery, and what is that? Does it tell me? It doesn't. So 3 times 5, so 15 solar panels. In my brain, the way that I kind of make that think or make that work is you're supposed to be a space traveler, right? You crash landed on this planet, right? That's the general storyline of Factorio. Now you've got your magic backpack and you're just building away, trying to get out of your magic backpack. You know, let's get a little bit of a pattern here. I'm not usually the world's biggest pattern guy. I'm not as hung up on it as some others. But let's do that a little bit at least. We also have a few other mods that I like. And we are using, like I said, basically I downloaded his exact expansion, it's not an expansion, mod pack, I think is what they like to call it. And then I added a couple things that I like. The starter robots. It makes it a little bit easier to do some of this early stuff. Watching Neil House, some of the mistakes I feel like is kind of being made right now is the idea that because he doesn't have robots, he's spending way a large percentage of his time doing this basic cleanup up here. And it's not a problem, but I don't want to spend all of my time doing that right now. I've got plenty of other things to waste my time on, like running around, not getting things done. Ooh, nice. Alright, give me these. I've just kind of got those early game glue it together type situations going on here. What else do we need? We're going to need a bunch of these. Thanks. Okay. So where do we want to put our early science? It's going to be one of the most important areas. It's going to need a little bit of space. We could probably just turn this down and stick it over here. That'll work. That will work. Alright, we can also let that one go, I think. Yeah, okay. So I'm not going to try to like break any land speed records. I'm not those guys. I'm just here to like chill and have a little bit of fun this morning. So we're going to get our super basic factory together. Half a second before iron. So one of these guys should support quite a bit of these. Oh, I am still... everything's basically the same as Neil House. Expensive recipes. All that stuff. All that stuff is same. I have a few different mods than he does. I'm using... major ones besides the early game robots would be I am using inserters. I like inserters. I like inserters a lot. So we're using inserters. And let's see, what's another one that I like? We have airplanes. I like airplanes. So I'm doing airplanes. And are those the main ones? Those could be the main ones. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure there are a great deal more that I'm forgetting. But those are the ones that are coming to mind right this second. Okay. How are you not? Oh, because you're one off. I let that one go. Yeah, sweet. I should have been making robot arms. I regret everything. I don't know why I'm limiting this. If it ever gets that full, then God bless it. It did the Lord's work. Okay. Hey, what are you doing? Stop that. Get in line. Get in line, mother trucker. Alrighty. Let's, Alright, let's do 8. I think. I don't know why. 8 seems a little bit, extreme, but... Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see if we can't get it crammed into the base down here. Oh, that's going to be really close, actually. So these first ones, until we get architecture, may just end up being built right here, but we'll see. 1, 2... Yeah, we're not going to be able to go 3 deep that way. Alright, robots. You know what? Let's do... Yeah, let's just get in that habit. And then let's grab the first space. That's totally fine. Yeah, see, we need just a little bit more room on that side to make that work. Yeah, we'll go like that. Oh, we're out of arms. Of course we're out of arms. Why wouldn't we be out of arms? Okay. It'll catch up. We're gonna... Oh! Oh my goodness, we have 2 down there. So I need to make another one. Let's see, we're also doing a bunch of classical music today. I'm hoping that YouTube will not destroy my playthrough. If I play classical music today. Normally at live streams I like to play real music. I enjoy classical music though, so it is nice to break up the monotony of the 80s or the 90s or the 70s, 60s, 50s. I tend to play it by genre, play music by genre. So it's nice to have things broken up a little bit, but I could probably use a little bit of a change. Alright, so that should give these guys a little bit more work to do, which is nice. These guys are going. We're just going to manually throw a bunch of this stuff in here. Is that our connection point? It is not. Over here. Alright, excellent. We are starting to kind of get this corner squared up. So that was one of the first things I wanted to do, is I wanted to get the corners squared up. And also my internet connection is like down. Frames are getting dropped like crazy.